What's up, everybody? It's Joe from JLW Games coming at you with another cool video back in Planet Coaster in our Halloween park. So, this was what I thought was going to be the last episode, and I decided I will have one more episode after this with some final detailing and a couple more scenery items. So this episode focuses on filling in the final gaps and adding the last couple rides and just some touching up in scenery and stuff, and also using some blueprint buildings to get some cool kind of a cool village feel. So we'll get into that. So the first thing we put here is an Insanity. I thought it would fit quite nicely with the Halloween theme, and why not, because it is a pretty insane ride. So I thought it fit in quite nicely, and yeah, so that works in quite nicely. I didn't even have to change the how many times am I going to say quite nicely? Jeez. But anyways, I already fit the color scheme and everything like that, so the theme was already there, and then I decided to add a hammer swing, give it a good little Halloween color scheme, and call it good as well. It's always purple, orange, black, and green. That's always the colors for this park, apparently, because it is Halloween, and those are the colors you're going to see mostly on Halloween, I suppose. So that's what ends up happening. So, and I pretty much just do as best as I can scenery-wise around the rides, as in a lot of trees and foliage that are creepy kind of looking and scary looking, to give the mood of the Halloween park and Halloween spirit. So that works for that. As we know, Halloween is just days away at this point, and seriously, that this park is coming down to the wire, the crunch time. So I do believe I'll have one more episode of this, and that will actually be perfect timing, I believe, because I recorded this on the 28th, which it will be released on the 29th. So you're watching on the 29th, and the next episode would be the 30th, and then the cinematic video on the 31st, which makes sense. So it works just fine, because I did realize that I was able to squeeze one more episode in, so I didn't want to rush it in this episode too much, because I want to rush it, but not rush it, to where it's, terrible. So this is the fun part of terraforming the rest of the map, just to give the rest of the map a little bit of a nicer, more natural feel to it, because I don't like just having flat land throughout my entire map. I think that's boring, and it doesn't give the park any character or anything like that. So you gotta have like these nice hills, maybe even some mountains even around your park as well. And again, this is a very small park, so the environment around it will have play a big role around the park as well. So this is the pathing is pretty much complete in the park. It's a very kind of odd layout, I thought, but it works, and maybe next Halloween I'll do something even better, because who knows what we'll have by then. During the Planet Coaster, so because that's a whole year down the line, and we'll be celebrating pretty much almost a year of Planet Coaster by then. That's insane to think about, but because yeah, so I use a lot of these blueprint items. Hate me if you want, and I know it sounds lazy and stuff to just plop down some blueprint buildings rather than building them myself. But to be honest, I just, I wanted to get a village feel very quickly, and I just I don't have the time, because I have a deadline to put on this park, and I didn't have the time to really deal with building a lot of different buildings, and the blueprint buildings are probably better looking than the buildings I would have came up with anyways. So that's how this is going around, and I just wanted to put some different shops and facilities, and also just some random buildings around as well. Now this section of the second launch of the Frankenstein coaster, I wanted to put in like a little village part in the launch section. I thought it'd be kind of cool to how Frankenstein is terrorizing the little village, or the village that he was in. So that's kind of how this is going to be looked at in a way. So it does launch backwards first slightly, and that can kind of simulate maybe like that they're trying to push him away, and then he just full on charges the village as best as, or with all his might and stuff, you know, and Frankenstein just terrorizes the village. And I thought I'd put the little clock tower or building in the middle of the loop. I thought that was kind of a neat little thing to add as well, and stuff like that. So I do start to do tree placing throughout the emptiness parts, because it is something that needs to be done, and I always have, you know, the desire to possibly cut this section out, but this episode's pretty shorter than I thought it would be. So we're gonna finish up in the next episode for the rest of the details, like the inside, or the inside parts of the, or, you know, the indoor part of the Frankenstein coaster. It needs to be decorated a little bit on the inside, and stuff, just little minor stuff like that, and some lighting around the park, and little details here and there. And I also, in this episode, actually get to some benches and trash cans, because the guests are absolutely throwing trash everywhere in this park at the moment, and it's starting to get on my nerves a little bit. So I had to put trash cans down to keep the park at least looking somewhat decent, because look at all that trash. And I had to hire a janitor as well, because the park is just absolutely a mess, and you can't have that. You know, when, especially in a cinematic video, you gotta have a clean park. You can't have, you know, trash laying around everywhere. So that's not good. And so, yeah, so you gotta place those accordingly. I probably should have done that while I was building the park, but I didn't get around to it. Okay, so it just didn't happen. So, anyways, more foliage and scenery just goes around the parts and stuff. Building wise and ride wise, we're pretty much finished. The last thing to do is just to add little minor details. It will probably be to be honest, the last episode will probably be a very short episode. And I might even decide not to do a time lapse on it, because it might be pretty short. So we'll see how that goes. But I thought I could fit in one more episode just for fun, and to get the very, very little details to finish the park off. So, and then after that, I'll be hard at work Sunday on creating the cinematic video as best as I can. I hopefully can get it all together in that one day, and because I've been having some technical issues trying to get those POVs the way I want, and we'll just see how it works out. And yeah, so worst comes to worst, the cinematic video might be delayed after Halloween, but hopefully that is not the case. I hope to get that all done by Sunday, and have it out by Monday. So, and we'll see how that works entirely. But here at the end, tail end of this video, at the end of this episode, I do place some lighting effects in some spots, and they turn out really nicely at night, actually. So I am pretty cool of how those actually turned out. So, anyways, we need to come up with a little bit of a theme of this purple coaster. I guess I still got to come up with names for these rides. I know the Frankenstein one's probably gonna be like Frankenstein's Revenge, and then the gargoyle themed one, which is the dive coaster there, will probably be like Gargoyle Dive. I don't know, something. We'll come up with something clever, but that's about it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Next episode will be the last one, and then the cinematic video. So make sure you guys have a great day and an even cooler tomorrow, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.